it's okay to be uncomfortable with things you don't know. It's supposed to be rainy and cold today, and I have no idea what to wear, but I have two outfit options. So I have this one where it's just my cream color sweater with the pink turtleneck underneath, and then this oversized brown jacket with some brown cargos. Or I could go a little bit fancy and do this sweater jacket thing that I thrifted that has like fake fur and my black turtleneck and my black jeans, and I probably would add like a white belt to it, but I have no idea which one to wear. I don't know if it's like too cold for this or if it's gonna be too hot for this because it's rainy, but also yesterday it was like 70 degrees, but I think it's dropped down to like 50. So I have no idea what 50-degree weather really feels like. Today is Monday and I'm going to be having a self-care day because I just feel like I need one. I've been feeling really burnt out and uninspired, and I just feel like I need to take some time to kind of like decompress. So we're doing a few things today. One, I'm going to therapy for the first time in like a month and a half to 2 months. That wasn't really my fault. My therapist left to go help refugees, which I can't even be mad about. Like, I really cannot be mad about, but it was a little inconvenience on my side, I'm not even gonna lie. But anyways, I'm going to therapy. I think I might be going to a coffee shop too, just to read and journal, you know, just to get out the house. And it's also really rainy outside, which is not the most ideal, but I feel like if any day is going to be a cozy self-care day, it would be a day that's raining. So we're just going to have a lot of self-care. We're going to do a lot of things that I want to do. We're going to do some little hobbies. We're going to try to avoid as much work as possible. I did edit this morning, but that was just so I didn't have to edit during the rest of the day. I'm going to go finish making breakfast and then we're going to get ready to go. I'm back home now, and I've been home for a while. I've actually been home for like 2 hours or so. But I just spent some time journaling about some of the things that I took from therapy today. And I wanted to go over some of them because I think they'll be helpful for other people too. So, the first thing she had me do, so I met with a new therapist, and I kind of liked her a little bit more than my last one just because I felt like we did so much more. But anyways, the first thing she had me do was write down 3 of my strengths. And after I did that, we went over like ways we can expand on that, the ways we can make those strengths stronger. One of the strengths I wrote down was listening. I feel like I'm a really good listener and that I try to really make people feel heard. But then she asked me like, are you a good listener with yourself? And I realize I'm not the greatest listener when it comes to myself. Like, I definitely listen to myself, but I don't hear myself. And by that, I mean, like, if I'm feeling anxious, I acknowledge that I'm feeling anxious, but I don't exactly, like, figure out why I'm feeling anxious. She came up with this weird analogy, but it kind of works. She said, imagine you're having a tea party, and the tea party came because I was drinking tea, okay? So she said, imagine you're having a tea party and you were to invite all of the guests at the tea party where all of the emotions you were currently feeling. And so she asked me what emotions I was feeling, and then I told her I was anxious. And she said that if anxiety was at the tea party, what would it tell you? And I told her that it would tell me that I was scared or I was nervous. And she said, okay, if you were listening to anxiety, what would you tell it? At first, it was kind of hard to think of what I would say to my anxiety because anxiety is not exactly an emotion that I want to deal with. But something I told it was that it's okay to be uncomfortable with things you don't know. And I think sometimes we forget that so that we let our anxiety consume us, when in reality, it's not always a bad thing. Sometimes it's just there because we're in a new environment, we're stepping outside of our comfort zone, and we need it there to let us know that, hey, this is something strange and scary, but it's also something that we can work on. We can learn to become comfortable with. Another thing that I felt like was a strength was being reliable and being responsible. And then my therapist was telling me how being reliable is a really good strength. You know, it's very nice to have people that depend on you and know that you're going to get things done, you're organized, and you're always there for them. But it can also be a weakness because when it comes time to you needing a break or you needing to just be with yourself, it can be hard to want to say no to people because you don't really want to like break their expectations of you. At the end of the day, if you're struggling with being reliable, the best thing you can do is to set boundaries. But before you set boundaries with other people, you have to be able to set boundaries with yourself because you have to be able to know like where your limit is, and you also have to know your non-negotiables. You have to know like where you draw the line, and you have to know that just because you tell somebody no, it's not the end of the world. It might be for them, but for you and your mental sanity, saying no can also be the best thing to do. I hope that made sense. I don't really know. I just try to reword it the best way I could. It'd be okay to share some things that I learned in therapy without getting too personal, you know, because some things just don't belong on the internet. Even if I just help one person, I still feel like I'm really making a difference. So if this helped you, I'm glad it did. And if it didn't, I'm sorry.